Hello and welcome to my channel. Usually we'll talk about guitar stuff on this channel. Chords, scales, improvising, techniques. But today is a topic that really applies to all instruments. Saxophone, trumpet, piano, guitar. It comes from my teacher Barry Harris, who is a very well-known piano player and bebop teacher in New York City. And he's been giving classes there since the 70s. He's played with everybody in the jazz world. Back then, Lester Young, Charlie Parker, Coleman Hawkins, Sonny Stitt. So he really knows what he's talking about. And he's a highly respected teacher, going all over the world, teaching at universities, colleges in Japan, Italy, Holland, Germany, you name it. And he came up with an exercise that will help us be more comfortable playing our scales from every note of the scale. Not just the root or the fifth or the third, no, but we start the scale on every note. We will learn to line up our playing with the metronome. We will improve our technique doing this. And most of all, we will learn to play two-bar phrases, so we can feel eventually how long a two-bar phrase is. So it sounds like this. I put my metronome to 120 beats at 4 beats each measure. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. And so on. The idea behind this is that I start my scale on every scale note and I play up 7 notes in the scale and I come right back down. And this will teach me to be able to play my scale from every note. And also the way he set up this exercise is that it will teach you to play two-bar phrases. So you play 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. And there's a rest on the fourth beat in the second bar. So if I count along to my playing, it will be like 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. So by practicing this with my metronome, I will line up my playing to the click, and I will learn to play two-bar phrases. I will internalize how long a two-bar phrase is. Later on, in my improvising, I won't need to go back and measure out how far am I in the 2 bars. It'll just come naturally once you do these exercises for a while. And it will also teach you, like I said, to start on every note and not have to go back every time, oh, where's my C major scale? And I go back to the first note and I start my improvising from there. But you've started playing phrases from every note already in your practicing. And then when you improvise, you can do the same. So I'll take the tempo down a little bit more. For those of you who are not that familiar technically yet with the scales, we will just do 5 notes, because 5 notes work also. It will just make our rest longer. Because now I go 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's still a 2-bar phrase, but I will stop on the first beat in the second bar, and I'll learn to feel a rest. I have the rest from beats 2, 3, and 4 of the second bar. So this is 86 beats, and if you want and need to, slow it down in YouTube or slow it down with your metronome and start at a tempo that's more comfortable for you. But I will go with 86 now. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. I would start over here because on the guitar I can do another octave and play those 5-note phrases. I'll do this a little bit quicker so you can hear the idea behind this, and you can also start to hear how these are really phrases already. And I won't count along, I just play it. Now I play it in the higher octave. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so that was going higher up, and this was 140 beats. Once you can do this going up, why not do it coming down? I start on my top C, and I'll slow it down a little bit again so that you get the idea, and I'm not whizzing by here. So this is 90, and I go down from the C. I play 5 notes down and back up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Those were 7 notes, I'm sorry. So let me do 5, 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4, and so on. And again, this was 90 beats. If I go up a little bit, let's say 148. 1, 2, 3, 4. And so on. And you start to hear those are phrases. And you really train your rhythm and your feel for timing, because you listen to the metronome and you have a space where you can listen to the metronome too. And then you have a space where you have to align in your ear and in your playing and the metronome to be really together. So we did this with 5 notes. Let's go back and do it with 7 notes. I go back to let's say 90 beats. And I play up from every note. I play 7 notes up and back down. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3. Now I start on the next note in the scale. I start on D. 2, 3, 4. On E. F. G. A. And B. And you can hear how always the 4th beat in the 2nd bar is a rest where I don't play, and I can make sure that I hear that rest very clearly. Then I can do the same thing coming down from the top. I take the tempo up a little bit, but of course you need to practice this stuff first at a tempo that is comfortable to you, and then you take the tempo up. So this is a tempo we have at 120 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's it. And so on. So once you can do that, on the guitar, it's important to go through all the different fingerings, because this is an exercise that has many different applications and many different things that you will get out of it. It's not just a technical exercise. It will teach you rhythm, it will improve your technique, it will improve your timing, and most importantly, it will improve your feel for form in a very small form. This is a 2-bar form. But as our musics are in rock, in pop, in jazz, in blues, Many times it's 4 bars, 8 bars, 12 or 16 bars. That is the form of the song, or like the form, the length of the A section, and then there's a 8 bar. So you can already tell these are all multiples of 2. So if I feel comfortable in a 2-bar space, then I will certainly have a much easier way of finding my place in the longer form, because I can fall back on understanding how the 2 bars connect to each other. That's why this exercise is so powerful, and it really, everybody should be practicing this. No matter what style of music, it'll improve your playing very much. Let's go up in tempo a little bit and come down with the 7 notes one more time. And now I go down, I do it in another fingering, so that you guitarists out there, you understand you need to do this in all your fingerings. 3, 4. And so on. And now here's a bonus exercise. When you can do this with the metronome clicking away like this, then you do it the way we learned it in New York City, where we have to feel it with the metronome on 2 and 4. Because that way, the metronome is only providing you with half of the information that it did before, and you have, as you haven't already improved your time feel, practicing this exercise, you will have to make sure that the places where there's no information from the metronome, your own information inside, your metronome inside, will be lining up. So I turn my metronome down to 60, which is, and it will just be the 2 and the 4, but so the tempo I'm really playing is 120, and it will sound like this. I'll do the 7 notes so you can get a clearer picture. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 4. And you can tell that on beat 4 in the second bar, there's the beat of the metronome, but I'm not playing because I have a rest there. I can really hear that my playing is lining up, because when I hear that beat all by itself, then I know I'm correct. And then when you can do that, then you will start to listen to also the other beats before in the first measure and the 2 in the second measure, that those line up where your notes come in. And then you do the same thing coming down. I'll take it up to, let's say, 75, which is 150 beats. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, just to resolve it to a C chord. So that's it. This is an exercise from Barry Harris, brought to you by Stefan Kramer on his channel Know the Guitar. And it really applies to all instruments. Just go and practice this for a while and see what it will do to your technique, to your feeling of timing, and to your feeling of form. Really feeling a 2-bar phrase. Thank you very much for watching. If you like this video and what we talk about here, please subscribe or even share it with your friends. And if you have any comments, leave them down below. Maybe we can clear up anything that wasn't explained properly. See you next time.